Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here this morning. It's a lovely day here in coastal Virginia. This is my favorite time of year here at home. This is October, November, late September, October, November are the most incredible months here. Uh, a couple of times over the last few days, I've went outside and sat and listened to the leaves fall like rain, um, and just was part of being in that experience. Just totally incredible. And the the whole autumn experience is it's my favorite time of year, and I'm grateful to be aware and conscious of what's going on. So thank you all for being here today. I greatly appreciate it. And has become has excuse me as has become our practice. Let's begin today with our breathing exercises. Remember that we breathe in, we hold, and we breathe out, and we feel that calming, quiet presence of our divine selves coming through. And so, if you'll begin with me, we breathe in, hold, breathe out. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. So let's come back, everyone. Let's come back into our body, feel our hands and our feet, blink our eyes a little bit. What I'm present to this morning is simply stating that divine presence, all that is, God, Goddess, Yahweh, Allah, are all the same, and they are all the essence of who I am. They are, it is the antimator, it animates this body. It is the movement that has me connected to the whole of the multiverse. It is the presence of God wherever it is. It is divine. It is always, everywhere, all the time. It is eternal. Therefore, I am eternal. Therefore, you are eternal. And the movement continues until forever. There is no beginning, there is no ending. There is only being. And the more open my intellect and my emotions and my ego are to this eternal experience, the more it becomes present in this life. A few years back, it was very popular. It was on all the talk shows and everybody heard about it. And it was called The Secret. And it was brought forward and it talked about how, and the secret is that I create my own reality. And there are methods available to help me in guiding the reality I make. And there was on every talk show, there are still today um, speakers who are out on the circuit doing live presentations on visualize your experience, see what it is you want to experience in your life, see abundance, see happiness, see good health. Have a vision board, put it on the vision board, set that vision board where you see it frequently. But what was left out of that was the fact that we, particularly in the United States of America, are trained from birth that we are not enough, that we're not good enough, that we're not pretty enough, that we're not rich enough, that we're not smart enough, we're not fast enough, we're not well enough, we don't come from the family with enough, we come from a family with too much. On and on, we are trained to accept that we are less than what is required to be in harmony, to experience total freedom from care and want. And simply making a vision board and putting that vision board up and simply sitting down and holding that little vision in my mind in its own does not create that vision coming through. I must take some action. And the action that is available and the action that desires taking is to overcome and remove that pre-existing training and come to the understanding that I am the creator of what I desire. I am creative power. In fundamental Christian teaching, it teaches us that we are made in the image and likeness of God, and that we have dominion over this whole three-dimensional plane. Now that gets all colors of misconstrued as it's spread out over time. But the fact of the matter is, dominion over this three-dimensional reality means that this reality will present itself exactly the way I created. Therefore, if I think I'm not good enough, then whatever I create will not fulfill that which I desire in my head. It will fulfill that which is the truth of myself, which is I am not enough. Another thing that is very seldom really embraced by us is that the conscious thinking aspect of our lives is really only about 10% of what manifests our experience. It's really very similar to an iceberg. And there's a little bit of the iceberg sticking up out of the ocean. But there's a great big mass of iceberg under the water. And that great big mass of iceberg under the water in this analogy is our subconscious. And in our subconscious is where all of that teaching from our youth, from our society, from the television, from our teachers, from everywhere lives. And so, how do we overcome that? We overcome that by embracing the possibility that I am the presence of divine consciousness wherever I am. That doesn't mean that one needs to believe that. Believing is limited. If one simply allows for the possibility that that is so, there is where change begins. Oftentimes, I say to people in one on one conversation, you are the presence of God wherever you are. And they look at me and go, oh, no, that's not true. I'm not the presence of God. I'm not God. You know, God doesn't make something as foolish as this. And they shut down that whole openness to the possibility that that which created all that which is all that which is all that I am part of, is unavailable. So the very first action that I must take is I need to be open-minded. I need to open up the possibility that that which I've been taught since birth, or maybe before, is not so. That I am undamaged. That I am happy. I am free. This is radical activity on anyone's part. Should you choose to embrace the possibility, even, that as an individual you are created in the image and likeness of divine consciousness, and that you, created in the image and likeness of divine consciousness, are bestowed with attributes of that divine consciousness. And as a result of that, have dominion over this three-dimensional plane and are capable of creating whatever reality you keenly and truly, freely desire, without any lack, without any resistance, without any limitation. And so the beginning practice process is simply to begin to state what is so and use that to push out what isn't so. So be with me here for a minute and think of a coffee can full of dirty water. And you're like, wow, I want to get clean water out of here, but I can't throw this water out. What can I do? I have clean water here in the hose. How can I get this dirty water out of here? And I go, I'll stick the hose into the can down at the bottom. Maybe that'll help. And I do that, and the clean water starts pushing the dirty water out. And in a short period of time, the dirty water is all gone, and the clean water has taken its place. Well, the same is so with overcoming the undesirable teachings that we were brought up with. And so it basically boils down to, and literally is manifest as, denying the fear, because all of that stuff that says I'm not good enough is all fear. We deny the fear and we affirm the faith. And the truth is, I don't have to believe it. I do not have to believe that sticking the hose into the can and turning the water on will push the dirty water out. If I take the hose and stick it in a can and turn the water on, it will push the dirty water out whether I believe it or not. It's a law in this three-dimensional plane. And so, the same is so with applying affirmative understandings of oneself. It pushes the fear out. It pushes the undesirable out, regardless of what I believe about it. When I repeat, and repetition is the primary tool, and when I repeat over and over and over, positive understanding and affirmation, the fear is pushed out, and I begin to become aware of my divine presence. And so we will do that affirmative activity right now. I will share it with you. And if you can just relax and let it flow in and let it push out, you will experience a lightness. And so we begin. God is the only presence and the only power. God is fully present here with me now. God is the only real presence. All the rest is but shadow. God is perfect good, and God is the cause only of perfect good. God never sends sickness, trouble, accident, temptation, nor death itself. nor does he authorize these things. We bring them upon ourselves by our own wrong thinking. God, good, can cause only good. The same fountain cannot send forth both sweet and bitter water. I am divine spirit. I am the child of God. In God I live and move and have my being, so I have no fear. I am surrounded by the peace of God, and all is well. I am not afraid of people. I am not afraid of things. I am not afraid of circumstances. I am not afraid of myself, for God is with me. The peace of God fills my soul, and I have no fear. I dwell in the presence of God, and no fear can touch me. I am not afraid of the past. I am not afraid of the present. I am not afraid for the future, for God is with me. The eternal God is my dwelling place, and underneath are the everlasting arms. Nothing can ever touch me but the direct action of God Himself. And God is love. God is life. I understand that and I express it. God is truth. I understand that and I express it. God is divine love. I understand that and I express it. I send out thoughts of love and peace and healing to the whole universe, to all trees and plants and birds and growing things, to all fishes and beasts, and to every man, woman, and child on earth without any distinction. If anyone has ever injured me or done me any kind of harm, I fully and freely forgive him now, and the thing is done with forever. I loose them, I let them go. I am free, and they are free. If there is any burden of resentment in me, I cast it upon the divine consciousness within, and I go free. God is infinite wisdom, and that wisdom is mine. That wisdom leads and guides me, so I shall not make mistakes. Divine consciousness in me is a lamp unto my feet. God is infinite life, and that life is my supply, so I shall want for nothing. God created me, and God sustains me. Divine love has foreseen everything and provided for everything. One mind, one power, one principle, one God, one law, one element. Closer is God than breathing, nearer than hands and feet. I am divine spirit, the child of God, and in the presence of God I dwell forever. I thank God for perfect harmony. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. I salute you as the presence of God. I acknowledge you as the presence of divine consciousness and understanding. Be well, and I'll see you on Wednesday morning. Namaste, namaste, namaste.